Stop scrolling for just a moment, because an ordinary-looking coin could sometimes hide an extraordinary story. Right now, somewhere in an old coin jar, a forgotten collection, a drawer filled with loose change, or a box that has not been opened for years, there may be coins that collectors are desperately searching for. And today, on American Coin Secrets, we are opening the door to a world where tiny pieces of metal can carry history, mystery, rarity, and astonishing collector attention. But here is the part that makes this video impossible to ignore. The 3 coins you are about to discover may look ordinary at first glance. Some people might see only a small coin and move on without giving it a second thought. But serious collectors know something different. In the world of numismatics, the smallest detail can completely change the story. A date, an unusual variety, a scarce production detail, an exceptional condition, or a genuine rarity can transform an overlooked piece into something collectors consider a major discovery. And today's first coin takes us to the United Kingdom. It is a 2015 United Kingdom 5-pence coin, and the story surrounding this tiny coin is about to become much more interesting than most people could imagine. So stay with me until the very end, because we are counting down 3 fascinating rare coins, and the stories become more intense as we go. And when we finally reveal the collector value attached to each coin in the exact condition described, the numbers are going to make you understand why coin collectors never stop checking their collections. Welcome back to American Coin Secrets, where we bring you freshly updated coin stories every day. Now, take a close look at your coins, because today one tiny piece of metal is about to take center stage. First up, imagine holding a small British coin in the palm of your hand. It does not look like a treasure chest. It does not come wrapped in gold. It does not announce its importance. It simply sits there, small, quiet, and easy to overlook. But that is exactly what makes the world of rare coins so exciting. Sometimes, the coins that attract the most attention are not the biggest coins in a collection. Sometimes, the real excitement begins with a coin that millions of people would barely notice. And today, the spotlight is on the United Kingdom 5-pence coin dated 2015 described in fine condition. This is the kind of coin story that reminds collectors why they keep searching, checking, comparing, and studying every detail. Because in coin collecting, appearances can be deceptive. And sometimes, what looks ordinary at first can become the center of an extraordinary conversation. The British 5-pence denomination has a long connection to the modern decimal coinage of the United Kingdom. The decimal 5-pence denomination became part of Britain's modern monetary system during the transition away from the old pre-decimal currency structure. Over time, the coin became a familiar part of everyday life, passing through shops, pockets, purses, collections, and cash drawers across the United Kingdom. Yet familiarity does not always mean a coin is uninteresting. That is where the mystery begins. A familiar denomination can become dramatically more desirable when collectors identify something special about a particular example. The date matters. The production characteristics matter. The condition matters. The exact variety matters. And above all, authenticity and collector recognition matter. The 2015 date places this coin within the modern era of British circulating coinage. But modern does not automatically mean uncollectible. In fact, modern coins can create some of the most exciting searches because so many examples are still hiding in old collections and accumulated change. And that creates a thrilling possibility. A person may have seen this denomination hundreds of times, but have they really looked? Have they examined the date? Have they compared the design? Have they studied the surfaces? Have they checked whether the coin has characteristics that separate it from an ordinary example? That is the question that keeps collectors searching. The United Kingdom 5-pence coin is a compact piece of modern British history. Its small size makes it instantly recognizable, yet behind that small format is a much larger story of national currency, changing coinage, modern minting, and collector interest. The composition associated with the modern British 5-pence denomination is nickel-plated steel. That gives the coin its metallic appearance and practical durability for circulation. It was created as a working piece of everyday currency, designed to survive repeated use while remaining economical to produce. But history has a strange way of changing the meaning of objects. A coin originally made for everyday transactions can eventually leave circulation and enter a completely different world, the world of collecting. And once a coin enters that world, people begin asking entirely different questions. How many were produced? Where was it issued? Does it show an unusual variety? Is there a special production characteristic? Has the design changed? What condition is it in? Has it been authenticated? And most importantly, what makes collectors stop and pay attention? That is where the 2015 United Kingdom 5 pence becomes part of the excitement. The first thing any serious collector should do is carefully examine the coin rather than making a judgment based only on its denomination and date. Look closely at both sides. Study the lettering, the design elements, the rim, and the overall surface. Compare the piece with verified examples from reliable numismatic references. A rare coin discovery is built on details, and details can be everything. Collectors know that an unusual feature can sometimes create enormous interest, but it is essential to distinguish a genuine mint variety or recognized rarity from ordinary circulation damage, corrosion, scratches, environmental damage, or post-mint alterations. That careful approach makes the hunt even more exciting, because the truth is often hidden in plain sight. The 2015 5 pence coin carries the recognizable identity of modern British coinage, and its small size can make it especially easy to overlook. Yet collectors who are passionate about varieties and unusual pieces understand that small coins deserve just as much attention as larger and more famous denominations. This is why you should never rush through an old group of coins. Slow down. Look at every date. Check the edges. Examine the surfaces under proper lighting. Compare unusual examples with trusted references. And if something genuinely appears different, preserve it carefully. Because one of the biggest mistakes a collector can make is assuming that a small coin cannot have a big story. Now let us talk about collector demand. In the rare coin world, demand is driven by excitement, scarcity, authenticity, historical interest, recognized varieties, and condition. A coin becomes truly desirable when collectors believe it represents something worth owning, studying, and preserving. Fine condition tells us that the coin has seen circulation and shows the evidence of its journey through the real world. It may not have the untouched appearance of a newly struck example, but that does not erase its importance if the exact coin is a genuinely recognized rarity or exceptional variety. In fact, circulated coins often have their own powerful emotional appeal. Think about it. This small piece of British currency may have traveled from hand to hand. It may have been used in ordinary transactions without anyone realizing that one day collectors would be examining it, discussing it, and searching for comparable examples. That journey gives a coin character. It becomes more than metal. It becomes a survivor of its own history. And this is where the excitement surrounding the coin reaches another level. If you have a 2015 United Kingdom 5 pence coin in fine condition that matches the exact rare collectible identification being described for this video, the value you provided for this specific condition is $85,000. Yes, $85,000 for the exact rare coin and condition described here. That is the number attached to the coin in this video, and it is why collectors should never underestimate the importance of verification. But let me make one thing absolutely clear to every viewer watching. A date alone does not prove that every 2015 United Kingdom 5 pence coin is worth that amount. A major value requires the exact recognized rarity, variety, or other collectible characteristics to be correctly identified and authenticated. Coin prices can also vary based on verified variety, demand, condition, grading, auction results, and the individual coin itself. And that is exactly why professional authentication can be so important. Because imagine discovering that the coin you have been ignoring deserves a closer examination. Imagine taking a tiny piece of metal out of an old collection and realizing that it may not be just another ordinary coin. That is the moment collectors live for. That is the moment when curiosity becomes excitement. And that is the moment when a forgotten coin can begin to feel like a hidden treasure waiting to tell its story. The collector market can change over time, and rare coins with strong collector interest may attract increasing attention as more people search for exceptional examples. However, no one can guarantee future price increases. The smartest collectors focus on careful identification, preservation, authentication, and reliable market evidence. Still, the possibility is what makes the search unforgettable. Because every coin collection contains questions. And sometimes the answers are worth far more than anyone expected. So if you have old British coins, do not simply throw them back into a jar without looking. Separate the denominations. Check the dates. Keep unusual examples protected. Avoid unnecessary cleaning, because cleaning can damage a coin's original surfaces and reduce collector appeal. Use proper lighting. Use magnification. Compare suspicious or unusual features with reliable numismatic sources. And if you believe you have discovered something genuinely special, consider having the coin examined by a reputable coin expert or professional grading service. That is how excitement becomes evidence. And evidence is what separates a fascinating story from a confirmed numismatic discovery. The 2015 United Kingdom 5p coin reminds us of one of the most powerful lessons in coin collecting. Never judge a coin only by its size. A tiny coin can carry a huge history. A familiar denomination can contain an unfamiliar mystery. And a coin that spent years unnoticed can suddenly become the object of intense collector attention, if it possesses the exact characteristics that make it genuinely special. So take another look at your collection. Look inside those old boxes. Check those inherited coins. Open that forgotten drawer. And examine every small piece of change with fresh eyes. Because the next incredible discovery may not look dramatic at first. It may simply be waiting for someone curious enough to stop, pick it up, and look closer. And believe me, we are only getting started. Because the next coin on today's countdown takes the suspense even further. Its story, its history, and the reason collectors pay attention will make you want to keep watching until the final reveal. So do not go anywhere. This is American Coin Secrets, where we bring you freshly updated coin stories every day. Explore the hidden history behind extraordinary coins and keep the search for rare treasures alive. And remember, the world is full of people carrying coins, but only a few people truly know what they are looking at. The next coin could change everything about the way you look at your collection. Let's continue. Next up, now we move to coin number 2. And this one takes us thousands of miles away into the fascinating world of modern Chinese coinage. At first glance, this coin may seem incredibly ordinary. Small, golden in appearance, simple, easy to overlook. But that is exactly why coin collecting can become so addictive. Because sometimes the most exciting discoveries do not begin with a giant gold coin or a famous ancient treasure. Sometimes they begin with a tiny piece of currency that millions of people could easily pass from hand to hand without stopping to examine the details. And today we are looking closely at the 2010 China 5 Jiao. Now before we go any further, here is something every serious collector needs to understand. The standard 2010 China 5 Jiao is catalogued as a regular circulation coin, and current catalogue references do not support a value of $95,000 for an ordinary example in fine condition. The standard coin is catalogued as KM4011, and reference sources list it as a brass-plated steel coin with a weight of 3.8 grams and a diameter of 20.5 millimeters. But that does not end the story. Because the real thrill of coin collecting is not simply looking at the date and immediately assuming every coin is identical. The thrill begins when you look closer. Much closer. The 5 Jiao denomination represents 1/2 of a Chinese yuan. It is part of the modern circulating coinage of the People's Republic of China and belongs to a series that circulated from 2002 through 2018. The 2010 issue carries the familiar characteristics of this series, including its brass-plated steel composition, round shape, and segmented edge treatment. And the design gives this little coin a distinctive identity. One side features the denomination and date, while the other side presents a lotus flower and the issuing authority. The lotus is one of the most recognizable elements associated with this coin's design, giving an everyday circulating piece an instantly identifiable visual character. Think about that for a moment. A small coin created for everyday use can travel through countless hands. It can sit in a pocket, disappear into a cash drawer, be forgotten inside a jar, or remain hidden inside an old collection for years. And then, one day, somebody decides to look at it carefully. That is where the adventure begins. The 2010 China 5 Jiao may be small, but its place within modern Chinese coinage makes it an interesting piece for collectors who enjoy world coins, modern circulation issues, Asian numismatics, and searching for unusual varieties. And this is where I want every viewer to pay very close attention. Do not just look at the number 2010 and stop there. Examine the entire coin. Look at the lettering. Look at the lotus design. Look at the rim. Look at the edge. Study the surfaces under good lighting. Compare the coin with verified examples of KM14 weapon. Because a coin that looks unusual deserves investigation. Now that does not mean every scratch, stain, dent, discoloration, or damaged edge is a rare mint error. Collectors need to separate genuine production varieties from damage that happened after the coin left the mint. That distinction is extremely important. A true mint error or authenticated unusual variety can create a completely different collector story from an ordinary circulation example. The exact characteristics must be verified, because authenticity is what transforms speculation into evidence. And that is where the suspense becomes real. Imagine going through a group of old coins. You pick up a 5 Jiao. You see the year 2010. At first, nothing seems extraordinary. Then you begin comparing it. You notice something that does not look quite right. Perhaps an unusual strike. Perhaps a dramatic production anomaly. Perhaps a feature that appears different from normal examples. At that point, the correct reaction is not to immediately announce that you have discovered a fortune. The correct reaction is to investigate. That investigation is part of the treasure hunt. Use magnification. Take clear photographs. Compare the coin with known genuine examples. Consult reliable numismatic references. And if the feature appears genuinely unusual, seek an expert opinion or professional authentication. That is how a casual discovery becomes a serious collector investigation. The physical characteristics of the standard 2010 5 Jiao are well documented. The coin weighs approximately 3.8 grams and measures 20.5 millimeters in diameter. Its composition is brass-plated steel, and its edge features alternating smooth and reeded sections. These specifications provide collectors with useful checkpoints when examining an example. And those details matter. Because when you know what a normal coin should look and feel like, an unusual example becomes easier to recognize. That is why knowledge is one of the greatest tools in coin collecting. The more you learn about a coin, the more exciting the search becomes. Now let us talk about condition. The coin described for today's video is in fine condition. That means it has circulated and shows wear consistent with use. A fine condition coin carries the evidence of its journey through the real world. It is not necessarily expected to have the sharp surfaces and original brilliance of an uncirculated example. But condition alone does not determine the entire story. For a genuinely rare variety or mint error, the exact nature of the rarity, authentication, and collector demand can become extremely important. That is why collectors should never clean a potentially unusual coin. Cleaning can alter the original surfaces and may reduce its appeal to collectors. If you think you have found something special, preserve the coin as it is until it can be properly examined. Now let us address the value. A claimed value of $95,000 would require something dramatically different from an ordinary 2010 5 Jiao in fine condition, such as an extraordinary authenticated mint error, a highly unusual and recognized variety, a unique pattern, or other documented characteristics supported by expert examination and strong market evidence. That is the real collector lesson. The biggest discoveries are not created by simply attaching a huge number to an ordinary coin. The real excitement comes from finding out whether a coin actually possesses the characteristics that could make it extraordinary. And honestly, that makes the search even more thrilling. Because now you know exactly what to do. Do not ignore your old coins. Do not rush through them. Do not assume that every piece is identical. Study them. Compare them. Research them. Protect anything unusual. And always ask the most important question. That single question can lead you deeper into the world of coin collecting. The 2010 China 5 Jiao is a perfect example of why modern coins can still be fascinating. It represents a period of modern Chinese currency and carries a distinctive lotus design while serving as a small but recognizable part of the country's circulating coinage. And for collectors, every coin has a story. Some stories are about history. Some are about design. Some are about rarity. Some are about astonishing errors. And sometimes, the most exciting story begins with a coin that everyone else ignored. So here is my advice to every collector watching American Coin Secrets. Take your coins out of storage. Sort them by country. Separate the denominations. Check every date carefully. Use a magnifying glass or loupe. Learn the normal specifications. And when you find something that does not match the standard design, do not damage it, clean it, or alter it. Preserve it. Research it. And if the evidence points toward a genuine rarity, have it examined by someone qualified to authenticate it. Because the greatest treasure in coin collecting is not just owning a valuable coin. It is discovering what you truly have. And sometimes that discovery begins with one small question. That question can lead to research. Research can lead to evidence. And evidence can reveal a story that was hidden in plain sight. So while the ordinary 2010 China 5 Jiao in fine condition is not supported by reliable current references as a $95,000 coin, the hunt for authenticated unusual varieties and genuine mint errors remains one of the most exciting parts of numismatics. Never underestimate the power of curiosity. Never stop checking. And never forget that the difference between an ordinary coin and a remarkable discovery can sometimes come down to one detail that most people never bothered to examine. And now, get ready, because coin number 3 is still waiting. Its history, rarity, and collector story will take today's countdown one step further. Stay right here with American Coin Secrets, because we bring you freshly updated coin stories every day. And the next coin could be the one that makes you look at every piece of loose change in an entirely new way. The search continues, and somewhere out there, another hidden coin story is waiting to be discovered. Next up, and now, we have reached coin number 3. This is the final coin in today's incredible journey through the fascinating world of hidden coin stories, forgotten collections, and the powerful mysteries that can hide inside the smallest pieces of currency. Take a deep breath, because this final coin takes us to Saudi Arabia. At first glance, it looks simple. A small brass-colored coin. A familiar denomination. A date that many people may never think twice about. But as every serious collector knows, the moment you stop looking closely is often the moment you miss an important detail. Today's final coin is the Saudi Arabia 25 Halala, dated 2016 or 1438 in the Islamic Hijri calendar. And this coin represents an important chapter in Saudi Arabia's modern currency history. The 2016 issue belongs to Saudi Arabia's 6th issue of currency. The official Saudi Central Bank information describes the 25 Halala coin with the national emblem on the obverse and the denomination prominently displayed on the reverse. The obverse includes the title of King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, along with the Hijri and Gregorian dates. But now comes the question that makes this tiny coin interesting. How many people have actually stopped to study one? How many have examined the date? How many have checked the details of the national emblem? How many have looked carefully at the edge? And how many have compared their coin against verified examples? That is where the real adventure begins. The 25 Halalas denomination equals 1/4 of a Saudi rial. The 2016 or 1438 AH example was part of a new Saudi coin series introduced in 2016. The standard catalogued version is listed as KM76 and was produced in brass with a diameter of approximately 21.5 millimeters and a weight of about 4.1 grams. Its edge is described as indented. Now think about that. A coin created for everyday circulation can begin an entirely different life once it reaches a collector's hands. It can move from a pocket to a drawer, from a cash transaction to an old collection, and eventually become part of a historical record. That is the magic of numismatics. Every coin has 2 lives. The first is the life it was created for. The second is the life collectors give it. And the Saudi Arabia 25 Halalas 2016 has a fascinating identity because it belongs to the beginning of a new modern Saudi coin series. On one side, the national identity of Saudi Arabia takes center stage. The official design features Saudi Arabia's national emblem, consisting of the palm tree and crossed swords. Around the design are inscriptions connected with King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud and the dates of issue. On the other side, the denomination is displayed with Arabic and English wording, making the coin immediately recognizable as 25 Halalas. Decorative plant motifs complete the visual appearance. And for collectors, these details are not just decoration. They are checkpoints. Every letter, every symbol, every edge feature, every design element, every measurement, all of them can help a collector understand whether a coin matches the normal specifications. And that is incredibly important. Because the standard 2016 Saudi Arabia 25 Halalas is a regular circulation coin. A coin cannot honestly be called a $70,000 treasure based only on the fact that it is dated 2016 and is in fine condition. Reliable catalog data currently indicates a very different value for a standard example. That is the honest current indication for the ordinary catalogued coin, not $70,000. But before anyone stops watching, here is where the story becomes much more exciting. Because coin collecting is not only about ordinary examples. The real hunt begins when a collector finds something that does not match what a normal coin should look like. Imagine examining your 2016 Saudi 25 Halalas under magnification. You compare the weight. You measure the diameter. You inspect the edge. You study the national emblem. You compare the lettering. And then, you notice something unusual. Maybe a genuine striking error. Maybe an extraordinary off-center strike. Maybe a dramatic die error. Maybe an authenticated mule or another recognized mint anomaly. At that moment, the story changes completely. But this is where every collector must remain careful. A scratch is not automatically an error. Damage is not automatically rarity. Corrosion is not automatically a mint variety. And an unusual-looking coin is not automatically worth a fortune. The key word is authentication. That is what separates a powerful discovery from an unsupported claim. A genuine and dramatic mint error can have a very different collector market from a standard circulation example, but its value depends on the exact error, its rarity, condition, authentication, and actual collector demand. And that is why you should never clean a coin that you believe might be unusual. Do not polish it. Do not scrape it. Do not attempt to improve its appearance. The original surfaces may contain important evidence. Instead, preserve the coin carefully and document what you see. Take clear photographs of both sides. Photograph the edge. Record the weight and diameter if you have accurate equipment. Then compare it with reliable examples. This process can turn an exciting guess into a genuine investigation. And honestly, that investigation is part of the treasure hunt. The Saudi Arabia 25 Halalas 2016 is also an excellent reminder that modern coins deserve attention. Many collectors make the mistake of believing that only ancient coins or precious metal coins can be interesting. That is simply not how numismatics works. A modern circulation coin can tell us about a country's history, its monetary system, a new currency issue, national symbols, manufacturing technology, and the period in which it was produced. This 2016 issue marks the introduction of Saudi Arabia's new series of circulating coins, making it a recognizable piece of modern Saudi monetary history. And history is one of the reasons collectors keep searching. You are not just holding metal. You are holding a physical object connected to a particular place and moment in time. A coin can survive for decades. It can cross borders. It can enter collections around the world. And years later, someone can still pick it up and study the same designs created when it was first issued. That connection between history and the present is powerful. Now, the example described in today's video is in fine condition. A fine condition coin has experienced circulation and shows visible wear from its journey through the real world. For a standard coin, condition affects collector appeal and value, but the presence of an extraordinary and authenticated rarity could create a completely different situation. That is why collectors should learn what a normal example looks like first. Knowledge gives you a reference point, and once you know the normal characteristics, you are in a much better position to recognize something unusual. So here is my strongest advice to everyone watching American Coin Secrets. If you have Saudi coins in an old collection, do not rush through them. Take your time. Separate the denominations. Look at both the Hijri and Gregorian dates. Study the details. Compare each coin with reliable catalog information. And if you find an example that appears dramatically different from the standard design or specifications, protect it immediately and seek expert examination. Because the greatest discoveries do not happen when people assume. They happen when people investigate. And that is why the world of coin collecting remains so exciting. Every jar of coins contains questions. Every old collection contains mysteries. Every unusual piece deserves a closer look. And sometimes, one tiny detail can begin an entire journey of research. So, can a standard 2016 Saudi Arabia 25 halalas in fine condition honestly be presented as a $70,000 coin? However, if a specific coin has an extraordinary, documented, and professionally authenticated error or variety, then its story and market value would need to be evaluated according to that exact characteristic and real market evidence. And that is the lesson every treasure hunter and coin collector should remember. Do not chase fantasy. Chase the details. Do not believe a huge price just because someone placed it next to a coin. Verify the evidence, because a confirmed discovery is far more exciting than an invented one. The real treasure is knowing exactly what you have. And who knows? Somewhere inside an old collection, inside a forgotten box, or mixed among coins that everyone else has ignored, there may be something waiting for a knowledgeable collector to discover it. That is why you should keep looking, keep learning, keep comparing, and never stop asking questions. This is American Coin Secrets, bringing you freshly updated coin stories every day and taking you deeper into the fascinating world of rare coins, hidden varieties, historic currency, and extraordinary discoveries. Today, we explored 3 coins from different parts of the world, 3 different histories, 3 different designs, and 3 reminders that every coin has a story. Some stories are about history, some are about national identity, some are about collector demand, and some begin when someone finally notices a detail that everybody else missed. So before you leave, take one more look at the coins around you. That old jar, that inherited collection, that forgotten drawer. Do not just see loose change. See possibilities, because the next great discovery does not announce itself. It waits, quietly, patiently, for someone curious enough to look closer. And until the next incredible coin story, keep searching, keep collecting, and keep your eyes open. Because in the world of coins, the smallest detail can lead to the biggest discovery.